Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault, episode 601. How to get rid of generational curses. Just want to thank everybody that's coming to the workshop. We did have limited seating. Actually closing it up here. I'll be closing it up actually over the weekend. Just going into the room for the weekend. We're just gonna go ahead and say it. We done refunded people their money, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this is one of those events where people think, Trust Christian Evolve, we focused on transactions, and we've always been focused on relationships. So the team that we have that's coming, Larissa, appreciate her for hosting at her location, Abundant Returns. We appreciate Brent for flying in. Appreciate Dr. Bay for coming in as well once again. We appreciate you all. We appreciate the audience that's actually coming. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a family oriented environment. This is an environment where trust is of the utmost importance. So when people think that, you can just pay for a ticket and go to something, once again, private families will refuse you to come do business with them, and we will too as well. So people just think that, oh, I just pay for a ticket and I don't have to respond to emails or I don't have to respond. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a family oriented environment. We have people that are traveling across the country. We have high net worth investors. We appreciate everyone that is coming. And so that environment means that we need to protect the families and the individuals that are in the room. So just be aware, ladies and gentlemen, this is an event that, privacy is of the utmost importance. Respect, integrity, those things are at the highest level of priority, and we put those things up front for our families and individuals that are coming. So appreciate everybody for traveling. Appreciate everybody for listening live, listening to replay. This is the Vault episode 601. How to get rid of generational curses. We just want to go ahead and say that none of our episodes are always to educate. So if it offends you, maybe it's something that really is something you may have thought of, or maybe it's something you didn't think of, and it's striking a chord because it's something that you may know that it's a decision that you're gonna have to make. And so, how to get rid of generational curses may be one of those episodes today. We were sitting around an elite family yesterday, and ladies and gentlemen, how do you replace teaching a 5-year-old about a mortgage? How do you replace that? How do you replace teaching a child about that, ladies and gentlemen? And then when we talked to the parent that was sitting there communicating about it, their first gen, and they said they didn't learn about a mortgage till they were 20. But their next gen, they're teaching them about mortgages at 5. They're teaching them about business at 5. That's how you break generational curses, ladies and gentlemen. So we just were inspired to do this episode. It might be, once again, a little offensive to people because this isn't a subject that people really want to hear about, especially in the public. It's all, public school is supposed to do the job. First of all, public school is not in place for your family. It's been put in place by the Rockefellers so their family doesn't have to work. Elite families know this. High net worth investor families, we know this. So we're going to talk about how to get rid of those generational curses. Some of the ways to get rid of those generational curses is you got to separate from your family. This is the hardest thing for people to do. People say, oh, Trust Christian, I can't believe you said that first. Ladies and gentlemen, the family we sat in front of yesterday, that's an elite family, they had cut off their parents for a period of time because their parents worked jobs. They were mediocre in life. And so they had to break that generational curse. Now, this takes a little while for people to let it sink into their heart, let it sink into their mind, let it sink into their life. Why? Because they want to be good people. Oh man, I don't want to leave my family behind. And I'm supposed to buy my mom a house. Ain't that what the brother's going to say? Oh, I'm supposed to buy my mom a house. But your mom, she didn't provide you a house. That's generational wealth passing. Oh, well, she didn't have the tools. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how many generations has your family lived in the United States? How many economic booms have they gone through? Did they go after the Great Depression? But see, It's more generational excuses on the child's part. Oh man, my mom, my dad, they didn't really have the information to do the things that they needed to do. Yeah, and then what happened? You got it? Somehow you were blessed with the information? So what are you going to do? You going to keep saying, oh man, I'm just going to get the information and not do nothing with it. Ladies and gentlemen, when you get the information, people don't want to know. It takes a period of time to implement the information. It takes a period of time to get emotionally congruent with the information. When your parents haven't been entrepreneurs, that's a different type of emotional capacity you have to have as an entrepreneur. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody's not an entrepreneur. So when you want to become a generational curse breaker, when you want to become an entrepreneur that passes along wealth generationally, you got to do something different. Oh man, Trust Christian, I can't believe you talking this hard because, my mom and my dad, they love me. Yeah, no doubt about it. Of course they loved you. But then what happened to giving you the tools to succeed? All they did was give you the same tools they had to go out and get a job, go out and get into debt. So how do you break those generational curses? You got to do you got to do the opposite of everything they say do. When they say go get a job, you can't get a job. It's so interesting because for 30 years it took us to get over just getting a degree. For 30 years over at the Vault, we sit here like, man, at one point we got to go get a degree. We know people in their 30s still getting degrees. When AI is going to take over their jobs in a bit. That's how real it is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, I need to go get me a job, man. I need to go get me a degree because that's going to help me advance in my career. When they got AI that's get ready to do your job. People don't want to hear that though. Oh man, ain't no AI going to replace my job because I'm an accountant. Right, there you go. You know how many jobs are going to be eliminated in accounting? You know how many real estate agents their jobs gonna be eliminated? I want to be a real estate agent. That's the part time. That's the part time get over job. Oh man, if I become a real estate agent, I'm gonna be able to make some additional money. They're not gonna make 20. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go open up the house right now through a code. You think that these real estate companies aren't gonna put a AI system in place that says you can scan your fingerprint as the person that's going to look at the house. They're going to have cameras in the house. They're going to have cameras and heat sensors and sensors as you walk through the properties. They're going to know what time you check out of the property. What you need an agent for? To show up to the property late? To walk you through something that you can literally go do a tour on your own? All you're going to do is show your government ID? They're going to eliminate real estate agents. What do they need many of these jobs for? How you get rid of these generational curses? You gotta get wealthy right now. We're in the roaring 20s. We're 4 years deep into the roaring 20s right now. The roaring 20s previous roaring 20s produced multimillionaires and billionaires. It went right into the Great Depression, but it also boomed. They had railways that were built. They had oil and gas that was built. Traditional car companies. People working on assembly lines. That's not going to happen this time. This time it's going to be a technological boom. How you break these generational curses? It ain't reading no more books, but we got people that say, oh man, I just want to read the Bible. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and say it publicly because this is no smite to anybody that does it. This is the reality. You got to read a book. Whether it's through Audible, through some type of audio book or something, but you got to read a book. We got people that tell us, oh man, Trust Christian, I'm not going to read no books. Well, we already know what's going to happen to you. How you staying up to date on the technological changes? You got to read. Y'all want to know how generational curses are broken? You got to invest in the Financial Times and the New York Times. These are magazines. People said magazines were going to go out of business. If magazines were going to go out of business, why do you still have to pay for certain magazines? Because the elite are communicating right in front of your face. They're communicating through magazines, through the New York Times, through the Financial Times, through the New Yorker, through the Economist. Trust Christian, that's what we read. When we going through the airports, that's what we read. Quite a few others. The ones you got to pay for. You think you could just get free information and you're going to be able to break a generational curse? See, we're in the era now where, oh, if you get a social media business, you're going to be successful. How, ladies and gentlemen? It's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. You got to get in front of proper wealth managers. How you break the generational curses? Well, it comes down to a few things. Investing in your private education, investing in private relationships. Private relationships. People say, oh man, trust Christian Revolt. Private relationships, I'm in the public. How do I get those private relationships? When you come across them, because your spirit led you to them, because the information flowed to you, you attracted the information to you. You got to take advantage of it. You got to take heed of it. But it's not easy. Why? Because trustees tell us all the time they don't have the support system. We see it. We're on calls more and more. And we just like, man, they're not going to make it. Why? Because they doing what their parents did. I'm going to just go get me a job real quick. I got to get me a job. I don't want to just go out and do business. I don't want to go out and know what it's like. You hear a lot of successful people say, oh man, what do they say? I was homeless for a second. That's what a lot of people say. I was homeless. A lot of people don't want to be homeless. They want to stay in cozy home. How you going to break that curse? You got to know what it's like to feel a little bit of pain real quick. So you can know when you paying your payroll for your employees and you sleeping in the office, that's how you break that generational curse. That's how you break it. We on the line the other day, some trustees going to tell us some people don't want to lose some sleep. If you don't want to lose some sleep, you ain't going to break the curse. You got to lose some sleep. Oh, trust Christian, this is a work-life balance. Think about this. Everybody that says work-life balance, they're poor. They're not wealthy. Wealthy people don't believe in work-life balance. That's why they're not poor. How you going to put a system in place that's different when you're not willing to do something different? Everybody you know works for the weekend. Oh man, I work 5 days a week and I get the weekend off. That's the simple truth. You're going to have to lose a little bit of sleep. There's going to be non-work-life balance for a period of time in your life. That's how you break the generational curse. Oh man, my friends, man, they said I'm not coming out to birthday parties no more. They say I'm not coming out no more. Ladies and gentlemen, the unfortunate part about it is we got so many people in the public that they so-called rich, so-called wealthy, and they trying to protect their legacy. And they trying to tell y'all that you need to have a work-life balance. When they didn't have a work-life balance. When they slept in the office. When they didn't have a personal life for a while. Why? Because the personal people that they knew, they didn't matter. They were focused on building a billion-dollar company. They were focused on building a multi-million-dollar company. That's the reality. Trust Christian Revolt's got to say it to you, though. Because we know what it's like. Passing along, getting rid of a generational curse is one of the hardest things you could do. Why? Because the people that you associate with going to hold you down in that, and they're going to hold you down into that information. There is no part-time generation. There is no part-time success. There is no part-time wealth building. It's you're all in. You're all in. Are you all in? They're not all in. Most people aren't all in, ladies and gentlemen. We see it every day on the line when we do consultations. They come on the line, they be giggling, cackling, and laughing. I'm trying to become like you, Trust Christian Revolt. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you don't want to lose no sleep. You don't want to know what it's like to go sleep in a hostel when you're traveling for a business event. Instead of sleeping at 5-star. Instead of sleeping at 4-star. Instead of sleeping at 3-star. They don't want to know what it's like. They don't know what they don't. You break the generational curse by investing in first class. You sitting in coach is keeping you in a generational curse. That's the bottom line. Oh man, I'm trying to fly Spirit. We don't care about the endorsement for these companies' names right now. I'm trying to fly Spirit so I can fly a cheap flight. How you going to be able to get in contact with the people you need to be in contact with that can really help you out? The mentor told us, hey, Trust Christian Revolt, you got to invest in First class tickets, because you looking to invest. Now, it may not always be first class. Y'all can dodge the first class ticket by getting business class. So don't think it has to be first class. It could be business class. You say, oh man, Trust Christian involved. Are you for real? I got to invest in business class. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to break a generational curse, have you been sitting coach? Have you been sitting coach your whole life? Has your family been sitting coach for generations? It's that simple. How do you break a generational curse? How do you get rid of a generational curse? You got to invest in your private relationships. You got to invest in your education. Trustees say, "Oh man, I'm trying to get the information trust Christian involved." You tell them $2,000. That's just to get in trusteeship. You wouldn't make it. How you gonna make it in trusteeship? Oh, I'm living at home with my parents. If you're after, if you look, we told you it might sound like we're gonna offend somebody. How are you going to advance if you're not looking to be independent and self-reliant? It's called independently wealthy. But you living at home with your parents after 25. Instead of just figuring it out. Oh man, trust Christian involved. It's hard out here. It's inflation. First of all, inflation ain't even where it was in the 80s when your parents were around. Inflation wasn't even inflation wasn't even in the 90s. What are you talking about? The interest rates though, Christian, we trying to get a house. It's the interest rates. The interest rates in the 80s was over 20%. What are you talking about? The interest rates were over the 90s was over 5 and 6 and 7, 8+%. What are you talking about? But the economy got drunk on zero interest rates. They got drunk on cheap money. You got to break those generational curses of wanting to get something for nothing. You got to break those generational curses by trying to get the cheap route. Oh man, I'm going to try to see if I can cheap trust Christian to vote down on trustee training. What you talking about? You're not trying to be wealthy. Wealthy means you might got over $10 million. Who in your family got over $10 million? Once you see that no one in your family got over $10 million, you got to go find a mentor that got over $10 million. That's how it works. You got to find a mentor. We talk to trustees about that. Oh man, that's the hardest thing to do, trust Christian vote. And then y'all don't even know that's the easiest thing to do. Trust Christian to vote. We done did it before. We done seeked out mentors that got over $10 million. And guess what? They picked up the phone with ease. Picked up the phone with ease, trust Christian vote. What you mean, trust Christian? How did it go? Tell us how we could do it. Tell us how we gonna get the job done. Here he goes. First of all you gotta do is stop paying attention to these internet gurus that want to flash the lifestyle at you, because those are lifestyle marketers, and reach out to people that have successful businesses and ask them, where are you at in life? Ask them, what business, like how much money, not necessarily how much money they make in a year, how much their business revenue last year. How much money did their business make last year? If you got to look at your dreams, you got to look at your goals and say who in life is at that position right now, so I can ask them questions, so I can skip past all the BS. But don't know, people want to sit around their friends and family that don't have the answers, Sway. They don't got the answers. They don't got the answers. When he says Sway don't got the answers, Sway don't got the answers because Sway didn't build $1 billion clothing company. He didn't have the answers. But everybody around you going to tell you how to do it. Why don't you just do it this way? Because he knows the level he's trying to execute at. He knows the mentors he needs. And then guess what? He's still scratching and clawing to this day. Let me get around the LVMHs. Let me get around the Bernard Arnaults. These guys, they got multiple billion-dollar companies under their control. Multiple million-dollar companies under their control. If you want to do something, you got to go get off of regular social media and get in contact with these people, search out their business address, mail them a letter, get their business contact information, and contact them through email, Get in contact with them through the phone and reach out. Oh man, that's a lot to do. What am I gonna say on these phone calls? First of all, you gotta do is tell them you need a mentor. What's so funny? We just sit here and we think about it. How Trust Christian Vlog, we be sitting here looking at it like all these guys, these girls, they be sitting on the internet. They be like, "Oh, I'm gonna teach you how to make this money." Trust Christian Vlog, they never told y'all we gonna teach y'all how to make no money. We ain't never told y'all we was gonna teach you how. First of all, we got a training program. We don't do teaching over here. That's the difference. You know how many people come to us all the time? Oh yeah, I gotta trust Christian. I gotta trust Christian. I got me a trust. But yeah, you ain't got the training. You got the trust, but you ain't got the training. You hear the difference? So they sit here. We see these guys on the internet. They be like, "Man, I'm gonna teach you. I could teach you in the next 3 months, the next 6 months. I could teach you how to get off your job." Trust Christian Evolve. We not promising you how you gonna get off your job. You gotta have it in you to want to get off your job. First of all, your job is seed capital. Your job is actually a thing that's taking up your time for you to go out and do the thing that you truly want to do if you want to do it. That's what it's doing. It's taking your time away. It's taking your creative powers. But Church Christian Vote, I'm trying to break those generational curses. I'm trying to get me the 199 internet plan, the 199 a month plan, so I can learn how to be in trusteeship. So you got these guys sit over the internet. They tell you, "Oh, I can help you in the next 6 months. Learn how to do this and make money. You could monetize yourself. Monetize yourself doing what? You gotta find a mentor. We got mentors at the vault. We got our mentors coming in. When you gonna have your mentor? Oh, you think you don't have to pay for a mentor either? Sometimes you do, but whether y'all know it or not, actually some of the higher mentors that we had in life, they never even asked us for money. They would tell us pay for lunch, pay for the meal that we were sitting at. That's what they would tell us. They didn't ask us for no monthly fee. They ain't ask us for no. Well, they ain't ask us for no. They ain't ask you for no monthly fee. None of that garbage. A monthly fee for what? What you need a monthly fee for? You the mentor. You're supposed to be more successful than I am. Or me giving you money, is that gonna make a difference in your life? Some of our mentors, you think a couple $100, they can't even buy a new pair of shoes for that. They can't even fill up their gas tank back and forth to see you. And you talking about some, oh man, I gotta pay a monthly fee. You see all these guys over here that say they multimillionaires, right? But they over here asking you for 199. They over here asking you for $99 a month type stuff. Trust Christian Vault, we ain't asking you for that. Oh man, how you break the generational curse? Easy. You gotta get a mentor. They not gonna be your family. They're not gonna be your mom and dad. Cause we're sitting in the rooms, and unless your family already knows how to be a multimillionaire, you're wasting your time. You're looking for validation. That's what you're looking for. Go ahead, let's say it. You're looking for validation. Mom and dad, I just don't want to make a mistake. That's all it is. How you get rid of generational curses? You might have to stop going to family events for a while. We talked to trustees about that, but they ain't hear that yet though. They still going to family events. Yeah, you're right. And guess what? Trust Christian Vault, we can see the results. This is a hard reality right here. Oh man, Trust Christian, I don't want to miss out on little Susie's birthday. It's my niece. It's my nephew. Yeah, and guess what? You still in debt. Did you hear that? The only thing your niece and nephew can learn from you is how to get in debt. So how are you going to help them? Oh, Trust Christian Vault, I can't believe you saying it like that. Because I'm supposed to be there. Isn't it supposed to be more than about the money? It's more than the money, Trust Christian in the vault. That's what they all like to say. This is a hard reality to face. It's got to be more than the money, Trust Christian in the vault. Then what you want generational wealth for? Generational wealth means you got more than $10 million. You got more than $30 million. Go look at the definition of generational wealth over the internet. It means you have over $30 million. How you going to say you want generational wealth and to pass it along and you're not willing to make a sacrifice? That's hard, man. I'm not trying to make no sacrifices. I'm not trying to miss no birthdays. That's what they say. I'm not trying to miss no birthdays. This is the stuff that we hear. And that's why most of them got to get up and go to work tomorrow. So if you're really looking to get rid of the generational curse, you might miss a birthday party. That's just the facts. You might miss more than one. That's the facts. Nah, I trust Christian fault. I can't miss no birthday parties because, I would look like a bad friend or I would look like a bad family member. But you know how many people we know, not literally anymore, because we had to change our association. You know how many people literally, your lawyers are in 100K debt plus. Your accountants and your doctors are in 100K debt. How is that going? How were they helpful to you? How is that okay? These people you admire. You admire the lawyers. You admire the accountants. Excuse me, you admire the doctors. Oh man, he's a doctor. He's a surgeon, man. He's got all of this stuff. Yeah, but he's got $200,000 worth of debt. He's got $400,000 worth of debt. Why didn't he pay it off if he's so smart? Because it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with your job. It has everything to do with your association and the way that you implement the information when you get the specific information to break a generational curse. One of them is associating with someone more successful than you. One of them is associating with people that have what you want. They got the fruit on the tree. Mentors used to tell us that at 18 years old. Trust Christian, all you got to do is check them out for the fruit on the tree. Check someone out for the fruit on the tree. What's the fruit on the tree? What's the fruit on the tree, Trust Christian in the vault? The fruit on the tree. You could tell a tree, a successful tree, by the fruit that it bears. Well, look at the vault. People talk, oh man, Trust Christian in the vault, you be talking so hard and I don't know. Right. And then we got mentors, they don't care. They come to the events, they show up for us. Why? Because they understand that it's about serving. Trust Christian in the vault, they understand we're serving when we do these workshops. It's a service. But are you looking to do that for your family? We talked to someone. Look, this is no no negative to anyone or anything. You got to just take it for what it is. We telling y'all real life stories of the things that we come across at the book. When you got a two-parent household, one of them may have to come to the event, the other may have to go deal with the children. That's the reality. One may have to go to the event, the other may have to deal with the children. That's how it works. But to say, oh man, both of us, we going to go to this event for the children this week because they got an event. You already know. You might not make it. The era of cell phones and recording everything, you still got people say, oh man, I can't miss that event. Then you got people say, oh yeah, Trust Christian Vault, I'll be there in spirit. That's a generational curse line. You're not going to be anywhere in spirit. You're either in your body or you're not. I'm going to be there in spirit. That's how you know someone's lying to you. That's how you know someone's playing with your emotions. How do you get rid of these generational curses? You got to get rid of conventional thinking. Conventional thinking is going to give you more of the same. Oh man, I got to go start a business. We were thinking about the other day, Trust Christian Vault, we were thinking about a new venture. And we were thinking about, what did the mentors say? When you get into business, you got to think about the exit first. How do you break a generational curse? You got to think about the exit first in a business venture. Because if you don't have an exit, you got a job. That's conventional thinking. It's conventional thinking. Oh man, I'm gonna get into business that I like. Trust Christian Vault, we think about that. Oh man, we ain't think about no business that we like. It ain't about a business that you like. It's about a business that pays and pays for the lifestyle, pays for your goals and dreams, helps you impact some lives the people that you work with. It's that simple. How you break generational curses? You put your family first. When we say put your family first, you put your immediate nuclear family first. You put your immediate nuclear goals first. You say, honey, you know what? We gotta have a family meeting once a week. We did an interview with a third generation trustee. She said we got a family meeting that we do monthly. It's only 12 months in a year on the Gregorian calendar. Families can't even schedule the time to do a daggone meeting. That's how you know you ain't broke the curse yet. You break the curse when you say we're going to schedule the meeting. Whoever shows up, we'll rock with them. If they don't, oh well. How is it about family, but families, y'all don't even want to know. Listen to this. When the football season come up, the American football game season come up, guess what? There will be people in your family tell you after 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they are not available because they're watching a sport. They're watching sports over doing a family event. But then they'll tell you, oh, I can't miss a birthday. Don't miss this, don't miss my little one's birthday this year. Oh, I ain't calling you. They don't even want to miss sporting events over their family events. It's the buzzword, oh, generational wealth. What plan do you have to make $30 million in your life? We got people that reach out to the vault all the time. They over 40 years old, over 50 years old. You think they really feel confident that they can make $30 million in their life? No, they don't feel confident. You want to know how you gain the confidence? By getting around people that have that. By getting around people that have managed that. Ask people, what's your assets under management? What's your assets under management? That's the environment we're in. Assets under management. You ask them you ask the average person what's their assets under management, they're gonna tell you their house. And then all you gotta do is ask them, well, how much money you owe on the house? That's not an asset. That's a liability. The money you owe is the liability. So you could ask them, do they have equity in the property? But it's how much money do you owe on the property? That's the liability. How do you break a generational curse? Stop thinking conventionally. Don't think conventionally. Don't think conventionally. Gotta get some new friends. Gotta upgrade your association. This is a hard reality. See, we understand that these episodes ain't for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we understand the video count. We understand all that. It's too easy to not perform in life. It's too easy to go get a job. Why do you think it's so hard to be generational wealthy? I ain't looking to be all that. If I gotta do all that, trust Christian, it ain't for me. You're right. It's not for most people. Y'all are completely right. It's not for most people. It can't be for most people. It just can't be for most people. Because we were sitting around a wealthy family yesterday. It's an elite family, ladies and gentlemen. And they were like, man, you either got people that are just overly spiritual, or you got people that are like to the extreme to trust Christian and Vault are, and they just say, we're focused on building wealth in our household, and that's what we focused on. We don't go out to events. We go to business events. We do some slight donations in the community. We keep quiet about that. And we invest through our private family foundation. That's what they say. We sitting around this family. They were like, man, what do you think, Trust Christian Vault? What is that middle ground? Ladies and gentlemen, the middle ground is most people don't want to go through any pain. That's it. Then when we were talking to the family, there's another thing they said in the conversation. They said everybody wants to read a book for personal growth. But whether you know it or not, Trust Christian, starting a business and growing a business is the biggest personal growth development process you'll ever go through. And we sat there and we agreed with them because we know. Because your self-image will never outgrow your business. Your self-image, your business will never outgrow your self-image. Your money will never outgrow your self-image. So if you're a cheapskate, you're going to get cheap things in life. But if you say, you know what, I'm focused on being wealthy, when you focused on being generational wealth, There's no limits on your thinking. There is no cheapskate mentality and generational wealth mentality. There's no cheapskate. I'm trying to get it for the cheap, for the low low. When you're looking to get rid of generational curses, you're going to focus on getting around the best people you could possibly can for what you're looking to do. The best. Not average, not B players, A players. It's a hard reality because we do interviews recently. We've been doing a lot of interviews recently for a project, and we just would, and we're interviewing people. And you could tell when an A player comes on the line or a B player comes on the line or a C player comes on the line. It's the same thing with trustees. You could tell when somebody playing around with it and when someone's serious. Somebody come on the line trying to negotiate the price. Oh, can I do a payment plan? You trying to do a payment plan for your family estate? For your wealth building process? That's what they trying to do, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to do the family plan. Because the gurus out here on the internet says it's a discount to wealth. There's no discounts. It's blood, it's sweat, it's tears. You hear that? There's no discounts. It's blood, it's sweat, it's tears. You might get close to a breaking point. Oh man, I don't want to get pushed to a breaking point because if I do, then I ain't go. You don't even know. You don't even know that you got this. If you knew you had it, most people still would quit because they're around the wrong people. If they knew that they were going to make it, they still would quit. That's the funny part you don't want to hear. If you've been listening this long in the podcast and you listen to this far, if you knew you could make it, most people still gonna quit if they knew they could make it, because they'll say, oh, I don't got the support system. That's why you gotta leave people behind. We sat in front of somebody one time. They said, oh yeah, I retired from my job and I took all my friends and family out to dinner for my retirement party. Now how does that sound? You got a group of people that you associate with and they can't even pay for the dinner for you retiring, but you supposed to pay for them because you retired? Remember Trust Christian Involved? We used to go out with a lot of athletes. And even still to this day, we go out with big time, athletes and celebrities, and they'll take care of the bill. You hear the difference? Trust Christian Involved, we're the most valuable person in the room. Celebrities and athletes, they ain't the most valuable person, but guess what? They got the capital to pay for Trust Christian Involved in what we talking about. No doubt about it. Trust Christian Involved's not sitting there for his leisure and leisure. What we need to know another athlete for? What we need to know another celebrity for? For them to tell us that they're not in the right position? We already know why they're sitting in front of us. How you get rid of generational curse? Ladies and gentlemen, y'all don't even want to know. We sat in front of successful professional athletes. So you got a mom and you got a dad. And guess what? Your mom and dad can't help you when you go pro. You would think they could help you. We got athletes that their parents say, you know what? I'm not going to do nothing with my son or daughter when they go pro. And we sitting there wondering, like, why not? And they say, because I can't help them. They admitted it out of their own mouth. I can't help them. What do you mean you can't help them? You're supposed to be there protecting them from the vultures. That's the least you could do. Oh, no, they're not going to help them. They're going to go sit back and wait for a check from the child. They're going to wait for the child to buy a house for them. You hear the difference in mentality? How do you break the generational curses? You can't listen to your parents unless they where you want to be in life. That's a hard reality. Really? 100%. Hard reality. How do you break those generational curses? You got to get on a solid routine. First of all, there's this one culture. Y'all know who we gonna say it. They got this culture that says, oh, I could show up late to everything. What's the point of setting a time for something if you're going to show up late to stuff? That's how you know you're not going to break a generational curse. How you get rid of a generational curse? You show up on time to things. That's it. You show up on time to things. That's the facts. You show up on time. It's not, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm late. You got to show up on time. People think, oh man, Trust Christian Vault, y'all really going to start at 9 a.m.? Trust Christian will be presenting at 9 a.m. That means doors will be open at least 30 minutes before because there's a decent crowd that people going to come in the room. They're going to want to come in there. They're going to want to sit there and get a nice seat. People going to be in there and almost they're going to fighting for a seat. I'm trying to sit up in the front so I can see Trust Christian, so I can be close to Trust Christian. Don't think they not. You think people ain't trying to get a great seat? You think people want to sit in the back of the room? When we starting? 9 a.m. We're not starting at 9:03 and 9:10. We're starting at 9 a.m. We got people traveling across the country. They're taking time away from other activities, other family and friends. So we're going to make it a point to start on time. That's the least we could do in honoring people. That's the least you could do. That's how you break a generational curse. You show up on time. Oh man, Trust Christian Vault, I don't know if I could break that generational curse. It's just in my blood. It's in my body, my bones, man. I ain't really a morning person. Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't show up. And if you show up what people consider late, Trust Christian Vault not going to be upset with it. It's a business dress event. First impressions mean something. You're going to be in the room. You don't know who's in the room. But when you in the room and you find out, oh man, they could have gave my family foundation some money. They could have gave my trust some money. Guess what? You might want to dress the part like it was business. Oh man, I don't really know if I got a dress shirt. Or I don't know if I could dress the part. Don't worry. You don't have to. Life is a do-it-yourself project. How do you get rid of generational curses? You wear the proper attire in the proper environment. Simple as that. You wear the proper attire in the proper environment. It's a business environment. Of course, we're going to have people in there not star-studded, but they coming in there suited and booted. They know what time it is. They understand that it's business. It's not personal. It's business. It's not personal. Now, if you're going to take it that way, take it that way. But it's business. It's not personal. Generational curses. You got to keep your integrity. You got to keep your word. We're talking to Dr. Bay about that the other day, about people keeping their word. Oh, man, Church Christian Vault, I don't know if I could do that, man. Instead of just keeping their word. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm not able to do that. Nothing wrong with even saying you can't do it. Nothing wrong with literally speaking and saying you're not able to do that right now. But dodging that bullet and not keeping your word, oh, they'll learn. That's how you break the generational curses. It's by showing up. It's by keeping your word. It's by working hard to maintain a relationship. People talk about that stuff over the internet. Oh man, Trust Christian Vault. You sound this way, you sound that way. First of all, Trust Christian Vault. We ain't lost none of the relationships that we built since we've been in the private sector. The most successful relationships, we haven't lost those relationships. We pulling out mentors for this particular event that we've had for over 5+ years. We done had the relationship with Larissa for over 4+ years. We done had the relationship with Dr. Bay for over 6+ years as a mentor. What y'all talking about? Trust Christian, we decided to show up. We decided to get rid of generational curses. That means showing up on time. Y'all don't even want to know. Dr. Bay say, what? You got to do things on time all the time. You got a whole line for it. Do things on time all the time. That mean you can't be late, Dr. Bay? What'd he say? You got to do everything on time all the time. But then you got people say, oh no, there's no such thing as time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be into your little astrological signs, that's how we told time down here. It's by looking up to the stars. We can tell time by looking up to the sky. That's why we got time down here. But you speaking too high now, Christian. You speaking too high. I know. We know. So people say, "Oh man, the relationship. How you gonna maintain the relationship, ladies and gentlemen? When you gonna maintain the relationship? Maintain that relationship in trusteeship. When you gonna maintain that relationship? We got mentors told us to quit before and we still maintain that relationship. Oh, I can't believe you said that. I really wonder if he said that. What you mean? We could get him on the line. He'll tell you. I don't remember. He probably ain't gonna say he don't remember. He gonna tell you. I may have said it to trust Christian, but and what you think? It don't matter. It don't matter to him. It don't matter to him. What difference do he make? He's trying to do something for your own good. He's telling you, look, quit because you don't know what you're doing. But we persisted, and then we earned his respect. That's the difference. When you gonna show up? Show up for your team. Show up for your family. Despite the odds against you. Y'all don't even know how hard it is to get wealthy. It's like less than a 5% chance for you to get wealthy. But y'all watching the internet. Y'all watching the internet thinking it's easy. Oh, you get a little internet business, you can make $20,000 a month. You get a little internet business, you make $10,000 a month. You get a little internet business, you can make $500,000 a year. That BS. Unfortunate. How you gonna pass along that generational wealth? You gotta start focusing on business. It's not personal. You gotta focus on business. It's not personal. When Trust Christian involved say something, when the mentors say something to you, it's not personal. It's business. But people, they don't even like constructive feedback. We had some trustees ask us for some constructive feedback, and then they start over here giving us rebuttals instead of just saying thank you. Trust Christian Vault, we was just going to be quiet. Oh, man, no. Trust Christian Vault, what do you think of this? First of all, we are a risk manager at the vault. We are asset managers at the vault. We think about the downside because there is a downside to everything. There's no business that's going to fail on paper. So we got to think about the downside. So when they ask us for our opinion, hey, what do you think of this? Then we finally share it. Oh, no, I don't nothing. I don't know if that could be true. I don't know if that we could get that done. That's all he's saying. They making excuses instead of saying, you know what? Appreciate the feedback. We'll figure it out. You hear that? That's how you get rid of a generational curse. When the mentor told us to quit, what you think we said? You think we hit him with a yada, 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 and a hidey, hidey, hi, and a hey, hey, hey? No, we hit him with a, okay, thank you for the feedback. We'll be in contact with you soon. Did that hurt our feelings? Maybe it hurts your feelings for a quick second. Oh man, I can't believe, somebody that I appreciate and I respect, he gonna tell me to quit. He gonna tell me I ain't gonna make it. You know how I mean people quit off of that? It's all good, ladies and gentlemen. That's why the chances are so low. It's not gonna be easy to build no generational wealth. Your family's already in a position that they may not be wealthy. What you mean, Trust Christian Revolt? Our kids supposed to have it easier than us. Then you have it easier than your parents? Think about that. Do you have it easier than your parents? If you had it easier than your parents, what makes you think that you're going to be generational wealthy when you have it easier than your parents and they not even wealthy? Easier doesn't mean get the job done. It just means you're comfortable. Comfortable with what? What they got or less. That's easy. That's comfort. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Always appreciate everybody tuning in live, listen, replay. These are the conversations, we sit around and we get around wealthy families, elite families, and it's tough because, not all of them think that way. So you can already see the ones that is a 70% fall off from Gen 1 to 2. 70% fall off because they wanted to make things easier. They didn't want to teach them the values. They didn't want them to go into business because they done went through a few businesses and them, failed. That's what the reality is. 70% fall off from Gen 1 to 2. 70% fall off because they wanted to make things easier. They didn't want to teach them the values. They didn't want them to go into business because they done went through a few businesses and them failed. That's what the reality is. 70% fall off from Gen 1 to 2. 70% fall off because they wanted to make things easier. They didn't want to teach them the values. They didn't want them to go into business because they done went through a few businesses and them failed. That's what the reality is. You got to fail in life to be successful. And anybody that tells you any different ain't successful. Every successful person knows, truly successful, will tell you that they fail a lot more times than they have struck home. That's a fact. How you get rid of generational curses? You got to get outside your comfort zone. You got to get outside your comfort zone. You got to stay outside your comfort zone every single day, as often as you possibly can. So you can understand that there is no easy day. The only easy day was yesterday. And just understanding and staying in that perspective, because even when you get on top, what you think is on top, there's a fight to stay there as well. If people consider it a fight, it's definitely something that is challenging. Because it's easy to go get a job. It's easy to just work, not do nothing. But when you want to do something, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. You got to overcome some things. We're here to solve problems, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listening, replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com for the workshop, for tickets. There is no same day tickets. There is no day before tickets. Probably end up cutting off ticket sales here on Monday. So we'll give everybody a heads up. No more tickets for the most part. We're going to go up until about Monday. And we're pretty much full, so we're good to go. I just want to fill in some last few spots. Like I said, we had to issue a refund to some people. We don't mind, because our environment is based off of integrity. It's based off relationships. It's not based off of, oh, it's just a transaction. I could just pay and I could show up. For what? What you think? You think the vault needs you? No. Vault don't need the clientele, because we understand the system that you got to have in place. It's about having a system in place. Once you have a system in place, you can make a different type of move. So we appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listen to replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Trustee Training. Peace and joy.